Hello, everybody. Welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I am your average guy, John Corelli. This is episode number 79. This is part one of the most um, influential and fun place I think I ever worked in my life. It was the Tivoli 12 Theaters here in Denver. It was a multiplex theater. I worked there from 1987 through 1993, 6 full years while I got myself through college, and met some of the most awesome and craziest people I've ever known, and many of them are still my friends today. Shout outs to some of the people that I remember very well, and like I said, I'm still friends with John Marsh, Jack Barker, Andy Barker, Tom Hanna, Josh Branson, let's see, Neil Clocker. There's probably others, and I'm just forgetting them right now. But those are some of the top hits. I had a lot. Oh, and by the way, my ex-wife, Dylan Corelli, yeah, formerly Dylan Forster, yeah, met her there too. So yeah, a lot of cool people. Uh, eh, eh. Let's talk about it. So I started there on March 30th, 1987. And what was happening that weekend was the Final Four, March Madness. And I am a big Syracuse Orange Men fan. I always have been. I always thought I would go to college there when I was a kid. It fits right in with everything I'm about. Being from New York, all of my favorite teams wearing orange and blue, and it just sounded like a cool place to go to school. Upstate New York sounded cool to me. Um, Never, obviously, that never happened. But they had a really good year that year. The Orangemen, people my age probably remember that team. Several of those guys went into the NBA and had pretty good NBA careers as well, especially Derek Coleman. I think Stevie Thompson. I know there were Sherman Douglas. And Ronnie Cycli, I think, might have been on that team. Were a lot. It was a stud team, and they really should have won the championship. But who won the championship that year? The Indiana Hoosiers, who also had a movie. I mean, it was their year. The Hoosiers was in the theaters when I started at the Tivoli. I was the only person on the planet outside of Northeast New York who wanted Syracuse to win, and they should have won, except they couldn't shoot free throws, and Indiana had a pretty good night. But they anyway, so that's just started my 6 years there, was being the odd man out and not wanting the Hoosiers to win, even though it was obviously their year. Congratulations, Indiana, 34 years ago. Anyway, back to my point. Yeah, just met a lot of really great people there. I was an usher for about a year and a half, and then I was an assistant manager for another year and a half, and then I was a manager for about 3 years. Really liked the guy. It was such a just a fun job most of the time. Once in a while, there were some customers that were idiots, but for the most part, I met, like I said, I met some really great friends there. Um, Three of my friends. Oh, I forgot Eric Mykrans. Shout out to you. Sorry, he's a big one. We went. Three of us or four of us from the theater went skydiving in 1989. Me and Tom and Eric and Josh and my friend Troy from high school all went. So that was a big deal. I've mentioned my skydiving experience in a past episode, but that was the catalyst for that, was knowing those crazy guys at that job site. Let's see what else happened there. I mean, it was just a great place to work. I mean, I was making like $5 an hour, but back in the late '80s, early '90s, and when you're going to a cheap school like I was going to, Metro State, if you were good with your money like I was, you could make it work. You could work 35 to 40 hours a week. That's just a couple $100s a week after taxes. You're probably bringing home, I don't know, not a lot when you think about it, maybe $600 or $700. But I was able to live pretty close to downtown for two and a quarter a month, which is crazy by today's standards. And I was able to groceries like $20 a week because it was 1990, and then I put the rest away and saved for college, which was about $1,000 a semester, and I made it happen. So great place to work. What else I want to maybe talk about the individuals that I've mentioned. Let's start with John Marsh. If you go to my Facebook page, he is on the cover picture with me in the black hole with Bronco gear in Oakland, trying not to die. Great guy, very influential. Work in Africa with the Carter Center right now in East Africa. Extremely knowledgeable, intelligent guy, and hilarious too. I love him. Uh, Jack Barker, another hilarious, intelligent guy, probably the wittiest guy I've ever known. He lives in Japan now, and he has a wife and two kids. And he teaches English and remains hilarious. He's winning medals over there in swimming, of all things, which is kind of crazy to me. Had no idea he was that great of a swimmer, but he's like often first or second place in what I think he's doing freestyle. He might be doing butterfly too. Gets gold and silver medals in these meets all the time. It's crazy. And his brother Andy also worked at the theater and also went to Japan. And Andy has a wife and I think one kid. Hope it's not two, because if I forgot it's two, my apologies to you, Andy Barker. Andy's also hilarious and intelligent as well. And I will tell Andy this though. He ran over my foot back in 1992, and I'm starting to feel it now. So, how dare you? It was an accident. He didn't mean to do it, but oh man, he probably doesn't even remember. It was pretty funny. Who else we got? We got Eric Mykrans, who is also crazy. All these guys are crazy. All of them. They're all insane. They're functionally insane, like I am, but they're all insane. Um, Eric and I have hung out not too much lately, but a lot. Like 10 to 15 years ago, we played softball together. We watched a lot of boxing matches together. We've done a lot of fun things together. Cool parties. Eric throws legendary parties. Um, and so that's really cool. Josh Branson, who uh, suffered a traumatic brain injury in 1996, but he and I have been contacting each other quite a bit lately. Me and my kids go there. I think the last 3 or 4 years. We didn't go last summer because of COVID, but we go visit him in Grand Junction, which is on the other side of the mountains. For those of you that don't know Colorado very well, you got to go over the Rockies. It's called the Western Slope, where Denver's on the eastern side of the Rockies. And we go and visit him and his mom and have a great time, and we'll watch the fireworks show there every year. Tom Hanna is also kind of on the Western Slope. I think he's back in Silt, which is a hilariously appropriately named city for him. Because he is gritty and he's amazing. And once again, all these guys. Here's the thing I've done well in life. I have been smart enough to hang around the people who e- either did well or made good choices, or I didn't hang around dipshits generally. It's pretty easy to weed them out. So kids, there's your lesson for this video. If it's pretty simple to see that they're dumb. I mean, there's one thing, you have your fun in your late teens, early 20s, and you go out and you be stupid and you get drunk sometimes and you get high sometimes, but you also are not you don't hang out with those people who do that all the time. That's not a way to live a life, or at least for me it's not, and the people I hang out with it's not. So yeah, Neil Clocker, I haven't seen him in a while, but he is also um, a great guy. He was married. I don't know how long he's been married. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years, and they have a sweet little girl named Jewel. And he is. I'm not sure what he's doing. He was with the AMC probably the longest. AMC was the name of the. For those of you who don't know, American Multi Cinema. They're still popular and doing well. AMC is the one that ran the Tivoli 12 in Denver back when we were there. And Neil was a projectionist, and he became head projectionist. Then he was like district projectionist, and he just moved right up the ladder. Now, I don't know. The projection game is completely different because they don't use film. I assume most of you know that, but it's crazy to me. They like basically, I think, pop a DVD in. I mean, or maybe a hard drive of some sort, but film isn't used anymore. Uh, that was an interesting thing I learned when I was at the movie theater, that they delivered the film on Thursday night. It was in canisters, usually 6 reels. Projectionists had to work their tails off, splicing the reels together, getting it ready to put through the projectors and to run the shows. You also had to put trailers on. There was more splicing. There was a lot to do. A lot of mad props to the guys in the projection booth. That included Tom, Josh, Eric, and Neil as well. Those guys all did projection. Me and Jack and John and Andy were more like floor marshals. Um, Either we were all over the place: cashier, usher, concession, and then in management for a lot of us. It's just, but those are the core guys I knew. Marcela Perez, shout out to you at the end here. I've known her since high school, and she also had a long career with the AMC, and she's now my neighbor, and I'm gonna start talking to her pretty soon too. That's about it for round one. Round two, things get interesting. All right, I'll tell you some goofy stories of things that happen at the Tivoli 12. Thanks, guys, for listening. Peace. See you next time. Bye.